Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuoki Kyoto Wins. We are along Nagakura Shinpachi's route, and we're at that point where the battle at the Fushimi magistrate has begun. Cannon fire is going off left and right. So let's see Shinpachi and Sonosuke here take charge. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story.
We're not just going to stand here and take it either.
Just then,
Building's taking a lot of punishment. They keep this bombardment up and it's all coming down.
Hijikata appeared, short of breath, and wearing his headguard and Shinsengumi uniform. Hijikata!
Kondo put me in charge when he left, and I think he'd want us to still be around when he came back. We're going on the counterattack.
His words sent the magistrate's office into a frenzy.
Finally! It's about goddamn time! I've been getting real tired of just sitting around while they shoot at us. Hard to feel like a man that way. Alright, what's the plan? We gonna shoot him with our cannon? No point shooting from here. We're gonna have to take it up to the front line. We get lucky. Maybe we could take their cannon while we're at it. That's more like it. Let's do this! Those Satsuma punks better watch out!
They all seemed more than ready to fight, but...
Gen, you stay here. I'll be taking the rest of our men and going after their headquarters. No problem, Toshi. You just leave it to me.
He nodded and trotted off toward the entrance.
Our best intelligence puts the enemy headquarters at Gokonomiya Shrine. Unfortunately, between us and them is a big hill, and they got a bunch of guns dug in on top of it. They'll pick us off as we climb up. There's only one way we're breaking through.
Hijikata's voice trailed off, but all the men around understood what that silence implied. If they were to win, they would have to thrust their forces into the heart of the enemy encampment, and that would mean running straight into a line of gunfire. The men who left to go on the attack would be facing a good deal more danger than those left at the magistrate's office. There was a moment of silence before Nagakura fixed Hijikata with a confident look and spoke.
Sure thing, Commander. I can take care of that. Are you sure, Shinpachi? Well, someone's got to do it, right? Might as well be me. It's better than sitting around here and getting pounded at least.
He gave Hijikata a grin, then turned to his men in the 2nd Division.
Sorry, guys. But it looks like your captain just volunteered to get us all shot to hell. But hey, at least we'll go off to the next life together.
Well, that's a really encouraging speech. I think you could have done just a little bit better.
What are you apologizing for, Captain Nagakura? As a warrior, I'm always prepared to give my life for victory. Alright, 2nd Division will be leading our main thrust against the encampment. I want you to attack Gokonomiya Shrine. No sweat. You just leave that to us. It'll take more than a couple Satsuma bullets to kill Shinpachi Nagakura. Well, when you go, the 10th Division will be there to support you, so don't worry about your flank, alright? We're off then.
With grins and more playful banter, Nagakura, Shimada, and Harada sauntered outside and out of sight.
Saito, Yamazaki, come with me. We're heading for Ryun Temple. We're screwed unless we can silence that cannon. Understood. Then I'll go check the other side.
Hijikata, Saito, and Yamazaki also went outside. They all have very dangerous roles which could cost them their lives, but not a single soul showed any sign of fear. I'd always wondered, how could they go in with such bravery? This war wasn't something they'd experienced before, where they fought with swords. This time guns and cannons have entered the fray. I couldn't shake my bad feelings about it. Please, everyone come back safely. I felt frustrated not being able to do anything, and all I could do was keep praying for their safety. Then, at last, as twilight began to fall on Kyoto, they returned. You're back!
Hey, I'm back.
Nagakura was dirty and despondent now, a stark contrast to the excitement and vigor on display when he had marched out. His uniform was stained with dirt, dust, blood, and sweat from the battlefield. What happened? Did anyone get hurt? A lot of people.
No, we're all right. I mean, most of this is other people's blood, but I lost many of my men out there. Thinking about them now makes me mad.
Oh no. didn't know what to say. Nagakura noticed I was at a loss of words and chimed in.
Don't worry, they were ready for this. It just doesn't really seem fair, though. There's no way we can charge in, what the hell? We managed to survive, but I don't know if we'll be so lucky the next time we see him. Nagakura.
Hearing Nagakura's frustration, eventually everyone fell silent. It was obvious from the start that this war was far different from the likes of Ikeda or the Amagiri rebellion. To think that the once invincible Shinsengumi could be so easily defeated. Outside, the bombardment continued unabated.
Hey, sorry for venting. We'll be fine. The retaliation just began. I'm sure that the darkness will help us, since the enemy can't really use a gun or cannon at night. That's when we'll strike. When the night falls, our time will come. Alright, guess it's time to head out soon. If I get hurt, be sure to treat me, yeah?
I'd rather cuddle with you, so be careful. In response, I said, Do you have to go? I don't want you to. You know how dangerous it is out there. Do you have to go? It's his job.
Well, duh, I'm a warrior. We train practically every day to prepare for days like today. And when they need me, I can't turn my back. A man is only as good as his word. Besides, I'm a captain. I gotta step it up or my men won't follow me, right? Sorry, Chizuru.
Oh no, I'm the one who should be sorry. I didn't know how strongly you felt about it. I didn't, really. I should have. How long have I known this man? I should know his sense of duty.
Hey, you said that though because you were worried, right? Thanks. It makes me happy.
And I'm not just worried about you because I think of you as a brother.
Anyway, I'll be on my way.
Nagakura smiled and returned to the battlefield. Shortly after Nagakura had left, the outside became pitch black. Just as he had predicted, the guns and cannons had ceased for a short while in the night, but after a few moments they returned. I wonder if, like he said, they'd have trouble hitting people in the dark. Nagakura said they wouldn't, but... Please, come home safe. Luckily, I had an immediate distraction in the form of treating the injured. It was midnight. Nagakura's troops, who served as the retaliatory forces, had returned. Not looking happy again? Huh.
Man, this blows. I lost so many good men out there.
What about Sanin and the Fury Corps? Welcome back, Nagakura. Are you injured at all?
Nah, I'm fine. No injuries here.
So, does that mean we were able to make some headway this time?
Oh, not really. The enemies aren't as dumb as I thought, so I guess they prepared for a night attack. The place was all lit up and I got cornered, so Shimada had to come and rescue me. No, I didn't do much. All I did was pull you up from the wall, Captain. Anyway, I made it out this time, but if they're covered on all these bases, then I don't know what else to do.
Nagakura vented his frustrations toward me, and it was clear that he had no other outlets to channel how stuck he had felt. Eventually, Nagakura's words came to fruition. Meaning? On the following day, January 4th, the dawn was met with a return of the enemy's rain of cannon fire. The Shinsengumi had hoped to launch a counterattack, but the power and range of the cannons made close combat almost impossible. Not only the cannons, but the new guns, too, at the enemy's disposal had range and accuracy beyond what our men could deal with. As each wave of men was met with cannon fire, our side suffered more and more casualties. I could barely keep up with the amount of men that were pouring into the infirmary. Frustration seemed to pervade amongst the many warriors from their inability to advance toward the enemy fort. Nagakura used light-hearted talk to motivate the men, who slumped as they walked.
Hey, men, why the long face? The enemy's base is just right there. We're gonna blast through them this time, so everyone follow me.
Third try? His attempts to cheer the men roused their spirits a bit, and he charged to the front of the line. When afternoon had passed, one of the enemy cannons was pointed at our headquarters, with one of the cannonballs smashing right into it. Cannons pounded the Fushimi Magistrate's office, and the ground shook with each impact.
Hijikata, we can't take any more of this. That cannon up on the hill is tearing us apart. If we try and go up there, their guns will mow us down before we even get close. Their rifles have impressive range, and the gunners are skilled. 1 out of every 2 shots finds its mark, despite the distance.
Oh, they actually have some marksmen, huh?
Where's Shinpachi? I can't find him. He took 15 men from the 2nd Division to attack the enemy line. Attack the enemy line? Is he insane? He's gonna die out there.
I could see muscles working in Hijikata's jaw, but he said nothing. His face was pale, although whether from fear or tension I couldn't tell. Outside, the roar of cannons continued unabated. Just when it seemed certain that Nagakura must have perished.
Hey guys, I'm back! Shinpachi.
Cries of surprise filled the room.
You're alive. What, do I look like I'm a ghost? Go ahead and touch me if you don't believe it.
I'll touch you all right. He grinned as he wiped a thick smear of blood and dirt from his face.
Anyway, it's impossible to get to the enemy line. Some Aizu guys went on ahead of us, but I heard they got pushed back too. Commander, there's nothing else we can do. Please order the retreat.
His brow furrowed and he scowled furiously. Ah, the smoke.
Whoa, what's this? Where's the smoke coming from? The cannon must have set the building on fire. We need to get out of here or we're dead. Hijikata, we have to retreat.
Even Nagakura's pleas seemed to fall on deaf ears.
Toshi.
Until this moment, the Shinsengumi had never known defeat in battle, but they were helpless against the firearms of the Satsuma and Choshu. The Shinsengumi was Hijikata's life. Defeat was hard to accept. After what seemed like an eternity, he let out a long, ragged sigh.
I guess this is the end. Nobody can win a war with swords and spears anymore.
Am I the only one that wants to cry every time I hear that? His knuckles turned white. There were several more minutes of tensed, breathless silence before he finally looked up, his eyes burning with fury.
We're pulling back. But we haven't lost. They'll pay for this.
Fury wasn't the only thing in those eyes. Behind them, I could see a bitter, desperate agony. Under Hijikata's orders, it was decided for us to head to Osaka Castle, where our allies from Yodo Castle and the Shogunate were waiting for us. We were to hold the castle as a fortress, and eventually move to counter the Satsuma Choshu.
Oh, so that's the plan, huh? Damn it.
Nagakura didn't seem too thrilled with Hijikata's decision. What was your plan? I told him, it's not over yet, till the fat lady sings. Well, it doesn't mean this is over just yet. We've only just begun. I desperately tried to console Nagakura, who seemed to have lost himself out of anger. I mean, we're going to hold the castle up this time, right? If we can prevent the enemy's artillery from reaching us, we could win, right? After hearing my comment, a light returned to Nagakura's eyes.
Yeah, that's right. If it's Osaka Castle, it'll hold, no matter what the Satsuma or the Choshu throw at us.
We can think that for now.
You're right. We've only just begun. Thanks, Chizuru.
He nodded firmly. Just hold on to that thought for a while longer. And so, the process of retreating from the Fushimi magistrate had begun. A diversion team comprised of a few able-bodied soldiers was ordered to draw out the enemy forces as the wounded moved from Yodo and Osaka castles. I had joined Inoue in guiding our injured men to the Yodo castle, while Nagakura and Harada were tasked with leading the diversion team. Well, we'll head out first. Please stay safe, everyone.
Right, we'll be right behind you. Gen, take care of Chizuru.
What? I want to go with you.
Of course, I promised to take her to the castle. Then we shall take our leave. See you at the castle. This isn't goodbye, so we'll see each other soon, okay?
Promise. Okay. Thus, Inoue and I set forth for Yodo Castle, with the injured soldiers in tow. In order to escape enemy detection, we cut through the forest and we finally arrived at Yodo Castle. Hijikata's hope was to use the castle as a new staging area where he could garrison our troops and launch ambushes from, Unfortunately... That's weird. Why are the gates closed? Do you think they're already preparing for battle? There were no guards outside the castle, or indeed anywhere we could see. It was uncomfortably quiet.
No.
He stood for a moment, absolutely rubbing his chin in thought, before finally making a decision.
We're here on the orders of the Shogun. We have come to request your help in battle against the rebels who would dare challenge this country's rightful rulers.
His voice echoed out through the stillness, but no one responded. I had almost begun to think the castle was simply abandoned when... Oh, look! There's someone in that window! Huh? They've got something shiny.
Get down!
Huh? Inoue grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me down just as gunshots echoed from the castle walls. My eyes darted around, but there were no rebels nearby. That meant the bullets were meant for us. What's going on? I thought the Yodo were friendly.
Either they've already been overrun by the rebels, or they don't want to ally with the side they think is going to lose. We need to get back to the men. It's dangerous to stay here.
But Hijikata told us to get reinforcements from Yodo. That ain't happening. Inoue only shook his head.
It's clear by now that they're no longer our allies. The longer we stay here, the more danger I put you in.
But if we leave, then what's going to happen to Hijikata? What's going to happen to the Shinsengumi? Let's just try and talk to them. Clearly, they ain't hearing ya. If we explain what's going on, I'm sure they'll understand. I think they know what's going on. I've never seen Inoue glare at me before.
That is enough. I want to go back to Toshi with reinforcements as much as you do. But my job here was twofold. To ask for reinforcements and to protect you. If something were to happen to you now, then I will have failed him twice. Now, come on.
There was nothing I could say.
No, we should be going. I'm sure the men we left behind will get worried if we aren't back soon.
Okay. What? We were nearly to the location where we'd left the rest of the soldiers, but something felt wrong. Huh? Were they supposed to be here? As we looked around the location, we couldn't find a single soul present. Have our men deserted us, or are they dead? Did we get lost?
No, we couldn't have. It should be just up ahead.
Then, as we rounded the corner, I noticed a few bodies in the distance. Inoue, there's someone over here! It seemed as though they noticed us too, and they walked over casually without a sense of alarm. There were 3 foot soldiers. Since the Satsuma Choshu soldiers' uniforms had tight black sleeves, we could tell immediately that these men weren't enemies.
I wonder what domain they're from, or if it's around here somewhere.
I don't trust this. No. I trust it even less now that I can see them. Pointy hats are always a bad thing in this game. The soldiers approached us, one of them coming to speak, and the other 2 silently observing their surroundings. Excuse me, have you seen any Shinsengumi warriors around here?
The Shinsengumi?
Yes, there should be a group of injured men around here somewhere.
I didn't see any. So, you guys Shinsengumi too?
Yes, well, I'm a page, and he's...
I am Genzaburo Inoue, captain of the Shinsengumi 6th Division. So, with whom are the lot of you affiliated? My. You're a Shinsengumi captain. We're...
Just as he said that...
Yukimura, get away from them! They're from the Yodo!
Inoue pushed me to the side, standing in between me and them.
Oh man, did we give ourselves away? So I guess if you're a Shinsengumi captain, that'd be perfect. Your head will make a lovely souvenir.
It was as if the wool were pulled from our eyes. They made no attempt to hide their animosity.
You all, you're going to betray the shogunate and stand with the Satsuma and Choshu. Shogunate's been dead for a while now. No need for us to continue allying with weaklings. Yeah, it makes more sense to side with the Satsuma and Choshu since they're currently on the up.
When Inoue heard their words of treason, he unsheathed his sword from his scabbard. The soldiers backed away, getting into their stance.
Yukimura, hurry, make a run for it. Tell one of our men what you've seen here.
No, Inoue, let's go together. Without giving me time to finish, Inoue charged toward the 3 samurai.
Go, now! Ooh! You bastard, you want to fight us?
I just hope they're not Furies at least. One of the soldiers clashed his blade with Inoue's, the metallic clang ringing in all of our ears. The other 2 soldiers unsheathed their swords too, and they circled around Inoue. He wasn't able to move around when...
Ugh!
The 2 men standing beside Inoue slashed at his torso, and blood started gushing from his body. Inoue's sword dropped from his shaking hands, and then he grabbed the man in front of him.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Let go!
He turned around to look at me.
What are you doing? Hurry and run!
After Inoue screamed, the samurai pulled away from him before drop-kicking him to the ground. Why am I still here? The 3 samurai were drenched in his blood, and they began to stomp viciously on his body. Inoue told me to run. He screamed at me to run for help, but I couldn't. How dare you! Call yourselves warriors! Infuriated, I drew out my kodachi and had lunged forward toward the 3 men. Oh, foolish me. Ah! I screamed involuntarily at the top of my lungs.
What the hell?
I slashed at the first warrior in front of me, but he'd sidestepped my attack easily. Just grab him! The foot soldiers grabbed a hold of me easily, and they shoved me to the ground. I was covered in mud, but I didn't care. Instead, I grabbed my kodachi, jumping straight back up, and I reassumed my fighting stance. The men grinned as they looked down upon me, and they drew closer. I will never forgive you guys! I may not be able to kill them, but I can never bring myself to forgive them. No, because it was a Shinsengumi member. I can't let him down!
Arrgh!
A big shadow loomed behind me, but before I could see it, it dashed past me and stood before the 3 samurai. My hero! The mysterious figure sliced the foot soldier in front of him in a flash.
What the hell is going on here?
That voice, his back, he's a person I know well. Nagakura?
I already asked you once. Answer me.
Well. As the soldier stuttered, I chimed in to answer for him. Nagakura, they're men from the Yodo domain. They betrayed the shogunate. They attacked Inoue.
What? Are you sure about that?
Nagakura's intimidating frame scared the soldiers, and one of them rushed to make an excuse.
No, it's not like that. He was already wounded. We were only trying to save him.
You little... How dare he? How dare he lie? No, he's lying. They were the ones that killed Inoue.
You pieces of crap. Say your prayers.
Nagakura screamed in fury as he raised his arm, but the samurai threw their katanas to the floor, begging him for forgiveness. Nagakura stopped.
Please, spare us. Our domain made us do it. We didn't want to. Yeah, we didn't want to betray you guys.
You sons of bitches. Things aren't looking good for you. And then you beg for your lives. I won't let this go.
He swung his sword up as his hand shook with rage. Nagakura gritted his teeth before making the move. Then...
Nagakura...
Inoue struggled to get to his knees, let alone stand up.
Gen, you alright? Forgive them.
Without any anger or malice in his voice, he asked the soldiers a question.
You guys were ordered, but did not want to hurt anyone, right?
That's right.
After nodding in response to the soldier's answer, Gen turned to face Nagakura.
Please, not in front of her.
He doesn't want them to die in front of me? I wondered if he could forgive them for what they'd done to him if they apologized, as long as they were commanded to do so. But I couldn't take that as the truth. But they... Nagakura cut me off.
Okay, Gen.
He turned to each of the samurai, shifting quickly between them, and yelled out.
Alright, you bastards. Leave your swords and get the hell out of here. Don't you dare show your face in front of me, or else next time, I'll kill you.
Okay, we're sorry.
The remaining 2 samurai didn't stop to look at the corpse of their comrade, and they tossed their blades to the ground and ran off.
You two alright?
I'm fine, but Inoue's... I ran toward Inoue, and his arms and shoulders were covered in a still-flowing tide of blood. It needed our immediate attention. I took out my handkerchief, and I did my best to wrap it like gauze around his wounds and put pressure to stop the bleeding.
My wounds may be deep, but I'll be okay. So, is it true that Yodo betrayed us? Indeed, it appears so.
Inoue winced from every movement, so I took it upon myself to answer in his place. As soon as they learned we were part of the Shinsengumi, they drew their swords.
Damn them, those bastards. I shouldn't have let them go. Nagakura, don't do that. In front of her. Yeah, I know. But I'm worried about these wounds, Gen. Come on, grab my shoulders.
Nagakura grabbed Inoue's arms, and he tried to put the old man on his shoulders. Then, a gunshot rang from a distance, and Nagakura's body shook violently as if hit by a force.
What the?
As Nagakura tried to gather himself, more gunfire came ringing from the distance. No!
Ugh!
The 2 men screamed, crumbling to the ground in front of me. They were shot? It was happening so quickly, I couldn't process what I was seeing or hearing. I too got down to the ground for safety, and as I tried to reach out to both of them, Inoue! Nagakura! As I reached for them, a shadow appeared behind us.
They're the Shinsengumi. They're the murderers. Fire at will.
You bastards! Nagakura just let you live! Oh, Inoue, you shouldn't have asked for forgiveness for them. I could hear their voices approaching us closer. They were the samurai that Nagakura and Inoue had spared just moments ago. No! No!
Chizuru, hurry! Run for it!
No! No! I don't want to! Nagakura! I tried running up to the 2 of them, but the continuous rounds of bullets made it dangerous for me to approach closely. Inoue, who writhed sluggishly on the floor, drew what little power remained in him to lift his arm. He reached into the chest pocket of his kimono, and from it, I saw him pull a small glass vial, radiating with a bright crimson liquid. Inoue, what are you doing with that? The fears of Inoue's potential decision came to mind, and my lips started trembling. Inoue removed the cap of the vial with shaky hands. Then, he placed the bottle upon the lips of Nagakura, who appeared to drift in and out of consciousness. Inoue always sacrificing himself.
Nagakura. Gen. Nagakura, please, forgive me. But a young lad like you cannot leave us so early. Please, you may hate me someday, but please protect Yukimura. She needs you. She needs me. Yes, that's right. So please, tell me you understand. Gen, I understand. Thank you.
After struggling through those words, Gen put the vial to Nagakura's lips and emptied the bottle into his mouth, which I couldn't bring myself to watch. No, you... Before I knew it, the samurai who'd cowered before us earlier had returned to our side.
This way. Send backup. We'll take his head and offer it to the Satsuma Choshu as a gift.
As the men screamed their orders, a group of low-ranked warriors had surrounded us. Their expressions were inquisitive, probing us. Then the circle began to enclose on us when...
Whoa!
Nagakura stood up with a righteous fury. His hair turned snow white and his eyes blood red. "No, Nagakura!" I sat idly on the floor watching him, and all I could do was stare helplessly in horror.
Oh crap, he's alive! Fire! Fire at will! Gah!
Nagakura leapt at them before the soldiers could even position their guns, and he slashed them one by one. He looked like a demon. No, like a fury.
Gah!
In the blink of an eye, he'd quickly slaughtered 5 soldiers without mercy. Other samurai who had watched it happen lost the will to fight, turning their backs to retreat. Nagakura, or the fury who resembled Nagakura, spared no mercy, as well for those who ran off. He'd nearly flown forward, slashing their backs. "Nagakura, please stop! Please, Nagakura! Nagakura!" I screamed desperately to get him to stop, in hopes of reaching him, but it wasn't enough to stop him. Nagakura was consumed by his beastly instincts. Was there nothing more I could do for him? As Nagakura was inches away from the flesh of the back of a fleeing warrior, a figure appeared in front of Nagakura, grabbing his swinging blade with a bare hand. Now those two are a pair. The 2 big guns.
You too have now chosen the path of the Fury, huh? That means it's time for you to die.
No! He just became a fury! Nagakura dodged every punch and jab thrown by Amagiri, his reflexes teetering on superhuman. Amagiri barely dodged to counter parry, ducking under Nagakura's blade before jumping back. When Amagiri reached to intercept the sword with his fingertips, a drip of blood came from them. Oh, that's never happened before.
A swordsman with your skill gaining some fury powers, eh? This might be a problem.
Wait, Nagakura didn't want to become a fury. He was just trying to protect me. He tried strengthening himself just to save me. As he backed away from Nagakura, Amagiri slowly glanced around his immediate vicinity. Then his eyes found Inoue curled in a ball on the ground, surrounded by gun-wielding Yodo soldiers.
These are Yodo men. I see. I think I can guess what happened here. However, I can't really let this guy just slide into this state.
With stern eyes, Amagiri glared intently at Nagakura as his feet shifted into position.
Time to go all out and stop you. Please don't get mad if I accidentally kill him.
Please don't accidentally kill him! For a brief second, it almost seemed like Amagiri's hair flashed brightly. Then, Nagakura raised his sword to strike as Amagiri's tight fist came to meet him. Nagakura's sword stopped mid-swing, inches from Amagiri's face. The demon's fist met with Nagakura's solar plexus, knocking the wind out of the latter. Nagakura's eyes flew wide, and he coughed blood as he fell to the floor. As I winced from his pain, I ran up to meet him. "Nagakura! Nagakura!" It looked like his animalistic frenzy was over. His hair returned to its usual color.
I'm impressed that all it took was a punch to knock some sense back into him. If he's got that much toughness, I'm sure he'll be back to his old self in no time. But, if he is looking to continue using his new fury powers, I'll have to do whatever it takes to stop him, even if that means killing him.
No, Nagakura isn't that kind of person. Amagiri sighed coolly, but after hearing the determination in my voice, he nodded.
Very well. He's all yours then. You can have him. Excuse me.
Oh, he's so nice. As quickly as he'd appeared, Amagiri turned and vanished instantly. Alright, we're gonna stop this video here. We'll continue on in the next episode, our post-Fury transformation with Nagakura. Oh, I had hoped it would be later for him since, he lived so long in the original version without being a Fury. So I'm guessing all of his endings are going to be in the next episode again. Why have the last couple guys had all of their endings in the one episode? I don't know. That's just how it's been working out. But, yeah, Kazuma will be after that. If everything goes as I imagine, that's how things are going to be. So, hope to see you there in that next episode or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.